Now, some foreign governments are investing in Mali to prevent it from falling into rebel hands. France has planned to send 2,500 soldiers to support the Malian army. 750 troops have already arrived. Western governments such as Great Britain and Canada have promised limited help. They are providing cargo planes for 1 week. ECOWAS, the group of West African nations, plans to start sending in 3,300 soldiers from next week. They were originally set to arrive in September. And the European Union has promised to send 200 military trainers for Malian and ECOWAS soldiers by the end of next month. The US says it is still considering how else it can help French forces.
There is no consideration of putting any American boots on the ground at this time. We have commended the French for this effort to try to go into Mali to stop the AQIM, these terrorists and members of Al-Qaeda from being able to develop a base of operations in Mali.
And joining us now is Sylvian Touati. He's an associate fellow at the French Institute for International Relations. Thanks for being with us. So you heard their support, understanding as well for the French mission, but the US quite adamant at this stage there will be no direct military involvement from their side. In other words, no troops on the ground. How important would it have been for France to secure this kind of direct military support from such powerful Western allies?
I think what was important from the US and what France is still asking to the US and the US are considering is the fact of gathering intelligence. Notably, France is lacking drones to overwatch the situation in the north. As you know, the country is so vast, the region is so vast, we're talking about a war zone of the size of France. And France, I think, the full French army only have less than a dozen of drones and they're not deployed yet on the field, while the US is one of the specialty of the US troops, and also satellite intelligence, I believe. I think also from Canada and Great Britain is about cargo transport. The French army is lacking cargo transport. We don't have enough military plane to carry our tanks or transport vehicles on the ground. We had this problem in Afghanistan. We have to use Russian cargo to transport our troops in Afghanistan and to get out of Afghanistan. And I think here in Mali, we see that French army lacks this equipment again.
So you mentioned the importance of intelligence and logistical support, but just looking as you say, the vastness of this territory, the north being the size of France, if not bigger, how likely is this mission led by the French? Of course, there will be African troops as well joining us, 3,300. How likely are they to make any significant difference when the territory is so vast?
That's one of the big issues about this mission, this international mission. We were talking for the recent months, many experts were doubting that African-led operation can do the job. There were like many doubts at the UN Security Council during the discussion when they were negotiating the resolution. The American and also the French doubt that ECOWAS could do the job by itself, or all the Malian army, and there were always international support from European countries and the US to be there. Anyway, the fact that France intervened earlier and is going to stabilize the situation, as President Hollande mentioned, is a big engagement. I don't really know. I'm not really sure that the French army know how they're going to get out of the situation. What is the outcome?
Was it a mistake then to get in to something like this without a clear end game?
No, I think France really pushed for not getting involved. I think for the last 9 months, ECOWAS countries wanted France to intervene. Many Western African powers wanted France to intervene, and President Hollande held back. President Sarkozy before him did the same. And I think there were not much choice to do it because no one wanted to intervene. And the only military power who could do it was France. And I think it was a good move. My perception, it was a good move to intervene. But the problem is, I don't think there is at the moment a forecast of how to get out of the country and what is the end game in this mission.
But knowing the region as well as you do, can this kind of mission ever end in a matter of days or weeks, as the French suggest?
That's the thing. I think that saying that President Hollande did a good move to intervene, but not mentioning that we're going to get out the French troop when the mission is just stable, I don't think it's really something to say right now. I think he should mention that French army will do the job and finish the job with the support of Western countries. It's true that France can be alone alone there. They need support from their allies, they need support from their Western African allies, they need support from Algeria. Algeria needs to be more active on the ground as well. We need to have an international force there. And also, when and if the military situation is solved, the main important thing is to resolve this political crisis around the Tuareg issue, about the Tuareg secession issue, and also the development of the Sahel region. What we've seen in Mali could also happen in Niger, it can happen in Chad, it can happen in northern Senegal, in Mauritania. This region is really weak and is really poor and need to be developed. And was it been mentioned by so many experts in the recent year, but nothing has been done. You need to have investment in infrastructure, you need to have investment in agriculture, you need to have investment in so many different sectors to make this country viable. And at the moment, it's not the case.
Sylvian Touati, thanks very much.
You're welcome.